All right, we'll call the May 1st meeting of the Time Board of Commissioners to order. We'll open with a moment of silent meditation, please. All right, we'll have pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, looks like a fairly short meeting tonight. We'll see. We'll have the adoption of the agenda as presented.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to amend the agenda
Okay.
to add item C to new business, discussion of sidewalk material.
That's item C. All right. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
All right. Motion second that we change item C to what, Darrell?
Discussion of
discussion.
sidewalk
Okay.
material.
Okay. You've heard the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. All right. Can we have approval of the consent agenda? Except item C. So I make motion? Or we're going through, we don't have to go through all of them independently, do we?
Yeah.
I don't know why we do. Do we have to go through all of them independently? Why can't we do a package amendment for everything?
For the agenda?
Yeah.
You can do them all you can do them all in a group. If
Yeah, why don't we do
everybody's
it?
in agreement.
If
there are other agenda.
Well, he broke out one already, so we're all right with that one.
That was an addition to the agenda, sir.
Yeah, okay. All right, can we have approval of consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Hand?
Second.
Okay. Motion by Eddie, second by Hand, we approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, go ahead, James.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next item is item number 5. This is public comment. It's for information purposes. I'll go ahead and read the instructions. Members of the public are invited to address the Board of Commissioners on any topic. Please come forward to the podium and identify yourself so that your statements can be taped. This is 3 minutes per person or 5 minutes per group. If anyone wishes to speak later in the meeting on a listed agenda item, please state your name and the agenda item, and you will be recognized at that time. Action on items brought up during the public comment period will be at the discretion of the board. Public comment is not intended to require the board to answer any impromptu questions. Speakers will address all comments to the board as a whole and not one individual commissioner. Discussions between speakers and members of the audience will not be allowed.
All right, anyone like to be heard? Yes, sir.
Good evening, I'm Bill Nancy from here in Manteo. A friendly request and suggestion. I think you're probably unaware that we can't hear you in the audience. And so most of your business and your conversations, we are having to either read lips or not know really what you're saying. And we're not supposed to read lips. So if indeed you have microphones and they're working, we would appreciate it if you would speak into them so we can hear you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.
Well taken. Thank you so much. I don't think anybody was aware of that. Was it anybody? Well, just speaking to the mic. Well, cut them one.
I heard Christine.
You sure it's not our accent?
All right, anyone else? Anyone else? All right, we'll close the comment period. Okay, James.
Next up is item 6 on the agenda, old business. This item is for action. This particular item is for appointments to the Board of Adjustment. Now, we have two openings that have arisen on the Board of Adjustment, and before that is noted, I want to make sure that on behalf of the town staff that we are grateful for the service of June Neary and Frank Hester on this important board. The board has in their package a consideration of appointments and reappointments in accordance with the town clerk's memo. I leave this, and it's an action item for the board.
All right, we've got to have, is it 2 board appointments?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For clarification, with the 2 openings on the board, we have the potential to appoint 2 new people, potentially alternates who were previously serving as alternates. We also have reappointment of 2 existing members. And last but not least, we also have the potential of appointments of alternates, as the Board of Adjustment does not meet on a continuing basis, but only when items come before it. So therefore, having alternates is an important extra step.
All right, anybody like to recommend anyone?
I'll move to reappoint Michael McGowan and Stuart Westcott as regular members to the Board of Adjustment.
Second.
All right, it's been moved. Is somebody-
Do one more time.
Mr. Young? I thought Dale was going to say something.
Do we need to vote? We need to vote
That was
now
for-
and then vote on
Right.
the new members?
That's the best way to do it.
Okay.
Just go ahead and
Take them in, I would
Okay.
suggest taking them in
All right,
blocks. Take your
all right.
take your reappointments, then your new members, then
All
your
right.
alternate members.
Can we have, we've already got a motion from Michael McGowan and Stuart Westcott, or just one of them?
Both of them for reappointment.
Okay. Michael
reappointments.
McGowan and Stuart Westcott. Is there any other nominations? Can we have a motion?
I made the motion.
Yeah, well, I guess we had to have a motion, don't we?
Second. Eddie second.
I didn't hear it. Okay, moving second, we appoint Michael McCoy and Stuart Westcott at Board of Adjustment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Nicole Northrup and Clarence Lewis as new members to the Board of Adjustment.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved by Christine, seconded by Darrell, that we appoint Nicole Northrup and Clarence Lewis as regular members of the Board of Adjustment. Is there any other nominations? All right, can we have approval on Northrup and Lewis?
To vote.
Aye.
All right, ayes have it. Nicole Northrup and Clarence Lewis is appointed to as regular members of the Board of Adjustment. Now, we've got to have alternate? Go ahead. Okay. Who's going
At the
to?
board's option.
Okay.
Yes. I'd also like to appoint Douglas Bachman and Jackie Myers, Bachman and Jackie Myers as alternates to the board.
All right, and any other nominations?
I'll second that.
Okay, it's moved and seconded by Darrell. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll appoint Douglas Bachman and Jackie Myers as alternates to the Board of Adjustment.
Next up on the agenda is item 7. This is new business. There are now 3 items on the agenda for new business. All 3 are action items. First would be approval of Resolution 2019-08 for participation in the Downtown Associate Community Program. This is a state program run by the North Carolina Department of Commerce, and these activities would allow us to support businesses actually throughout the town. It's a program, it's a competitive program, but this resolution is required in order for us to apply this month for membership in that program and the support of the state for the businesses, merchants, and other stakeholders here in the town of Manteo.
And just for clarification for everybody here, that resolution would aid us in being able to apply for state grants?
Yes, Commissioner, that's correct.
Do they vote on us up there somewhere else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it's a competitive process. They will shortlist finalists shortly afterwards, and if we are selected as finalists, they would actually come to Manteo to visit with us in June, and I would certainly welcome them coming to see this wonderful town.
So we should know something in this month, or in May?
Yes, Commissioner, we would submit here this month, and then by the following month, we would know if we are shortlisted, and then within 30 to 45 days after that, we would know if we've got it. So we're real excited about this
Right.
program.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, we got to have a motion on it. All right, can we have a motion? Who made the motion, Eddie?
I'll make the motion to approve Resolution 2019-08 for the town's participation in the state's Downtown Associate Community Program.
You were ready for that one. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Motion by Eddie, second by Hannah, that we approve the resolution, participate in Downtown Associate Community Program. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Item number 7B under new business is also an action item. This one is discussion and consideration of update to the highway banner policy. In your package, there's a staff report from the town manager. The purpose of this banner policy update is simple. It's to give the town more flexibility to support the merchants, special events, and other nonprofit organizations in placing banners on the highway. Right now, there's a restriction, a prohibition against us putting up the banner before June 1. However, there are needs here this month in May to get the banner up for 2 or 3 special events. So in order for us to not violate the policy and allow that to happen, we would respectfully request your consideration of this update. In addition, the update does a second thing. The Roanoke Voyages Corridor Commission previously allowed us to do up to 14 days for a single hanging of the banner, but it says up to 14 days. This update would allow us to go 7 to 14 days, so if there is a month like May where there are multiple people in there, it allows us flexibility again to support those same organizations in flexibility of 7 to 14 days. And this is up for your consideration.
I'll make the motion to update the highway banner policy as presented.
Second.
All right, motion by Darrell. We approve the update on the highway banner policy, seconded by Richie. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Can I ask, so are we going to rent like the bucket truck for a while? Is that the deal, to put those up?
Commissioner, we actually found that for this particular banner, we have the flexibility to do it without the bucket truck as opposed to the banners of the smaller banners. So
Okay.
this one, they have a mechanism where we can operate in a safe manner without having to rent the bucket truck.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you got portable apparatus on both poles, supposed to have out there, they did last year.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
And I'd like to ask that special consideration be given to the Lost Colony when it's not being used. I think it ought to be made available to the Lost Colony like it's been in the past years. Usually in the past years when the Lost Colony's gotten a little special privilege, special priority because it is who it is and it's us. So can we just throw that in there somewhere?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Lost Colony actually has already submitted their application.
Oh, I'm
and
sure
it's
that,
being,
but-
and it's going to be handled
Okay, good.
absolutely as
Well,
appropriate.
we'll just
That's
let it
great.
go. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So we just need to agree. I just want
Yeah.
to discuss.
I don't have anything. Christine?
We got one more,
What?
item C.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Darrell.
So have to vote.
We still have to vote.
So item 7B is up for consideration for the vote after the motion
need
and
to
second,
vote?
if I recall correctly.
Did we vote?
What is that? Where are you at?
We're just voting on the banner thing.
Oh, I thought we voted. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Now,
Item number C of new business, this is called sidewalk material. This particular one was added to the agenda as an amendment. We'll have an opportunity, though, to illustrate to the folks in the audience, as well as those watching on TV, the topic we're talking, the sidewalk material. So over here, what we're showing is the town of Manteo has received a request to take the sidewalk material as you see it. This is in front of the waterfront condos. The area in question is circled in yellow. Following the construction project at the waterfront condos, as they remove the decking there, the area in yellow now is shown as bare earth. That used to be a landing from a stairwell from the decks. The waterfront condo, the homeowners associate, or the property owners association is proposing to go ahead and place concrete there to continue the sidewalk. However, the town's ordinance, as we go to the next page, the town's ordinance specifies that sidewalk materials will be made either exposed aggregate concrete or bricks with concrete underlayment. The exception was asked of the town manager. However, the town manager does not have the authority to make that exception. The ordinance, though, as we see there in that next section, though, does allow the Board of Commissioners to consider granting permission for an alternate material. Now, if we go back to the picture, you'll actually see the surrounding material of that bare earth. It's all standard broom finish gray concrete. In my opinion, it makes sense for us to allow broom finish gray concrete there as opposed to forcing the use of exposed aggregate, which would look out of place in that area. Again, that's an opinion, but it is my recommendation for the consideration of the board to grant permission for this non-standard material on the sidewalk at the waterfront condos.
All right.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor.
No, go ahead.
In accordance with the ordinance we just looked at, the request needs to be made by the owner. We do have present here the representative from the waterfront condos in accordance with the ordinance.
All right, it's open for discussion. Darrell, you kicked it off. You want to start it?
I think it's a good idea.
I do too, because I think the aggregated wouldn't even look proper there. I think it needs to be a continuation of just what it got. Anybody else?
I agree.
Have we got to have a motion on that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, can we get a motion to agree to use regular concrete to finish out the patch at the condominiums? That's the best way I know how to say it.
I'll make a motion to allow the waterfront condos to use the regular concrete to match the surrounding sidewalk
Second.
that's
Carol?
existing.
I'll second.
All right, motion by Christine, second by Darrell. We approve the request for the use regular concrete at the waterfront condos. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
It looks great there, what y'all done.
It really does.
It's an improvement, for sure.
Quite an improvement.
Good. Next up on the agenda is item 8. This is a section for information purposes, mayors and commissioners' comments.
I don't have anything. Christine?
No, I just want to thank everybody for being patient with the town and Robbie Parker and NCDOT while they've been working on our streets. I know it's some days it's more than what we're used to as far as having to stop for traffic and so forth, but it sure has made a difference in what they've done so far. So thank y'all.
Darrell?
I don't have anything.
Reggie?
I'm good.
Eddie?
I do have a comment. I just want to thank the business owners and residential owners. I've noticed there's a lot of construction, remodeling, updating going on, painting, landscaping, and it just looks great all over the town. So I want to thank all of you for making the town look good. That's it.
Okay. Han?
I'm good, thank you. Lost my voice, I'm sure everybody can appreciate that.
I don't have anything either.
Next up on the agenda is item 9. This is for the closed session, and there are 3 items proposed for the closed session. First is under North Carolina General Statute 143.318.11A2, which is to prevent the disclosure of an honorary award or scholarship. Item 9B, also North Carolina General Statute 143.318.11A6, which is a discussion of personnel matters. And item 9C, North Carolina General Statute 143.318.11A5, which is the acquisition of real property by purchase, option, exchange, or lease.
Okay, we have a need to go in closed session. Can someone make the motion?
I motion to go in closed session.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Darrell, second by Christine. We go into closed session. We're going to be in closed session. I have a motion to go back in session.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Ed, second by Richard. We go back in session. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, ayes have it. We're now declared back in session.
Next up, as a follow-up to the mayor's and commissioners' comments, we have comments from the town attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. I just wanted to give the board a brief update on our Shallow-Back Bay legislation. Representative Hannig has taken the lead in the House, and we went through State and Local Government Committee last Thursday. It was moved on with no discussion or comment, which is a really good sign. It appears to be, at least thus far, a nonpartisan issue, and there doesn't appear to be any, there was at least no opposition at State and Local Government, which is the committee where there was going to be a hang-up. That's where we would have found it. Representative Hannig has added Silver Lake to our bill. So our bill is now to grant Manteo jurisdiction over Shallow-Back Bay and to grant Hyde County jurisdiction over Silver Lake, which I think is a good sign. I think we've got a teammate now in this process. So the next place we go is the Finance Committee. I don't believe it's been scheduled yet because there's I suppose the possibility of a tax impact that. Because we're adding new jurisdiction to Manteo and Hyde County. It's a pretty remote, but for that reason, it has to go through the Finance Committee. Then there will be pro forma hearing by the Rules Committee. And then once you get past those two, it should go to the House floor for a vote. And if passed, it would then go to the Senate, where Senator Steinberg is ready to pick it up and hopefully get it through the Senate as well. But we continue to get great support from Representative Hannig and Senator Steinberg. They both seem very interested in helping the town achieve this goal. That's all I've got, Mr. Mayor.
I have something. I got an email from the league about some House bill being pushed through about billboards being allowed, even though our zoning says they can't have them, they can come in and put them. Is that accurate there?
I saw that the other day as well, and I haven't had the chance to do much research about where that bill came from and what exactly it says. The league is representing that it would indeed abrogate local zoning as it relates to billboard construction and maintenance. The language in the bill, I read it very briefly, and it was concerning to me. It sort of read like a outdoor advertisement. You could tell who'd written the language for the bill. So, I think we can take a hard look at it, and then perhaps if you were wanting to resolve against that bill and send that to the House and Senate, you could do that at mid-month.
Okay. If we could.
Want it on June's agenda?
We can do it at the mid-month. We won't have it by the mid-month. I don't know.
Yeah, we're at a point in the legislative year where things can potentially move fast. That there's sort of no way to predict what gets through the various committees and what gets to the floor and the timing of it. So that's, you wait till June, it could be to resolve against it. It might be too late. And to be quite honest, you could resolve tonight, but I don't think any of us have been able to do much. It's not on your agenda for one thing.
I just read it briefly.
And two, I don't think any of us have really had the chance to digest what the league sent to us. So I'd suggest putting it on your mid-month agenda if it's something you want to pursue.
Yes, I would like to.
Well, we can talk about it mid workshop.
Get more info on it, I guess.
Let Becky put it on, or James put it on workshop discussion.
Yeah, I forgot the number.
Billboard.
House bill.
Yes, sir.
I can't remember what it was.
I'll take a look, and I'll prepare a memo to the board about it that
Thank
you
you.
can have for your mid-month meeting.
There it is, House bill.
Would you put that on my to-do list, Becky? Can you send that around, please? Just so I don't forget.
All right. Is that all you have?
That is all I have,
All
Mayor.
right.
Thank you.
Anybody else? When is the workshop? It's 15th or 22nd?
15th.
Anybody, anything else come for the board? All right, we're going to recess until the, recess is right, isn't it? Recess until May the 15th, the workshop at 4 o'clock, and thank you, ask Lynn.
Don't be late.
All right.
Thank you.
You might want to take a vote on adjournment.
Oh, yeah. Can we have a motion? Can we have a motion to adjourn? I'm not much on this Robert Rules order, I'll tell you.
Yes.
I'll
Say
second.
anything.
Motion by Darrell, second by Christine. We go into recess until May the 15th at 4 o'clock.
Aye.
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 All in favor? Aye. Good.